Where is this country heading to, man? I I I I don't know what President Ruto is doing literally. What is this guy trying to show us? It's I usually write here most comments where I usually put here. I usually say I will not vote for President Ruto come 2027. I will not. Na kura yangu tu moja. Even if I come from his tribe, I will not. Because there are a lot of things that are not working with this guy. With SHA, there's a lot of technology that has been tried to be integrated into this thing. And then President Ruto goes ahead to appoint Kaboko as a Ministry of ICT. Man. We might throw Uhuru under the bus, but if you look at the technology part of where Uhuru was tried to make things, as much as NHIF was bad, if you look at a person who was in the ICT section during Uhuru's time, that was John Musheru. John Musheru, at least he had that part in technology. This guy used to work in Google before he was appointed the cabinet secretary for ICT. And then for President Uhuru, who was there at first, that it was Owalo, and then we came to oh Lord. And then we came to now this fellow who is in Mtuaki Parangoto, the Kiambu guy. So this old thing of government, it's a big joke. As in, I usually alafu you see this woman for I think is PS for health. That's Mary Mudoni, I think. He's paying for some ad so that he can prove to us that trying to do something. Hey, people, so when the two cabinet secretary of communication or ICT, this president is too much. I'm landing. Then pick us up.
Poa bro, juzi jana nilirealize that huku hivi ukicheza unaweza pata umepewa kazi yenye haujasomea. Usicheze bwana. Unaweza pewa kazi for the first time. Imagine you cannot work. Mimi kama ingekuwa tunatumia physics ya ujamaa, inamaanisha sasa mtu kama mimi ningeingia ningekuwa sasa daktari hivi. Unakuja hospitali unapata pipita hapo na syringe. Sijasoma, niko na degree hesabu, lakini for today I will be injecting you intramuscular. Why don't you employ teachers as let's say pilots, but you want to employ somebody who has never been into any ICT class as a minister for ICT. Bro, kuna level ya evil yenye siwezi explain. Fred Matiang'i has a lot of issues. I wouldn't want him to be my president, but when he got into these ministries, you could see what he's doing. Remember, he's the one that is alituletea digital TV. Sai tungekuwa bado tuna rotate aerials. Sijui nyinyi mlifika kwa hiyo age tulikuwa tunajua hata Nairobi iko wapi. Unatafuta ndio ile Nairobi, ndio ile imeshika. Ikishika channel 4 unashukuru Mungu. Kwanza sisi watu watoka ushago bwana. Unyia mwelewi. Hadi alafu tulikuwa hizo aerial zilikuwa zinakuja na adapter fulani yenye inaweza pigwa shock. Kuna siku ile pigwa shock TV kachomeka. Anyway, back to my story. So umesikia this is somebody who is working in SHA. Anakuambia hai work. Unaona? Remember the Rural and Urban Private Hospitals Association, RUPA, wame pull out SHA. They can't handle it. So imagine, that means all hospitals zimebaki ni za serikali. Private walitoka, medical Association of Medical Catholic Medical Hospitals pia waliondoka. Wanadai NHIF billions. But these guys are saying wacha tu tutasort hii story, sawa? Tutasort. So what happens? Billions of shillings inatembea tu, inatembea bila kushikwa, na kuna watu wako na deni ya nani, wako na deni ya NHIF. What they're telling them now, my people, sasa sasa hivi venye tuko na mnatudai, wacha tu muendelee kutufanyia kazi, tutawalipa hii ya SHA, hiyo NHIF tutasort, and it's over 13 billion. Now let me just tell you one more thing ya kuwakasirisha kabla niwaambie mnichangie pesa. So mnaona the past 7 months, na ndio mjue tu sisi we deserve what we get. In the last 7 months, my guys, believe it, I'm whispering because hata siwezi taka majirani wangu wasikie kitu kama hii. In the last 7 months, majamaa wali withdraw 1.3 trillion, that is 1300 billion. Bro, hata kama unataka kuiba, where on this world can somebody spend 1300 billion? 1300 billion, that is 012. Now anasema in a focused country like Botswana, the moment the US aid was pulled out, Botswana waliandika report. They said, we know US aid has pulled out, but we are working on it. That is a country that works. Okay? Lakini sasa kwa hii nchi yenye watu ni maumbwa, and forgive me for using French, hii nchi ya maumbwa, heartless fucks, wacha niwaambie. Unajua hata wangekuwa wanacheza na one thing, they're playing with health, wanacheza na education. Say we have a set of people wenye hawajui anything. Skills. Walimu unasikia JSS teachers are not getting paid. If we imagine ujalipwa, alafu unaona MP kama makengine, unajua vizuri hakuna kazi anafanya, ni matenda, unamuona na dance kwa gari yenye inaweza kukubadilishia maisha. I want you to notice and know this. Hiyo pesa yenye ama jamaa wana channel outside, ndio pesa yenye ingekuwa inanunua hiyo panado yenye unanunua. Umesikia mzalendo amespend 3000 kwa dawa, na hii mwezi amekatwa 1400 yenye nafaa kusimamia hiyo dawa. You can imagine how heartless one man can be. Umechukua 11 billion. Imagine every year we are paying these guys 11 billion for an app kama Twitter. We are paying them 11 billion. And guess what? The system crashes. The system crashes. That is what, unajua mimi kitu inanishangaza ni, how do people even go for those political gatherings? Unatoa wapi nguvu? Ndio najua mnalipwa, lakini you cannot be an accomplice to this type of robbery. Hii ni kukuwa accomplice, guys. If you take money from politicians right now, you are an evil man. You are very evil. Wacha tu niwaambie sahi, very evil. Ukichukua sahi, and right now Raila ako Kilifi na Uhuru, they're going to give us another PS. Probably Gabriel Oguda utamstukia hizo maparagrafu zenye anaandika za ujinga, atakuwa permanent secretary wa health. Some nonsense, man. Some nonsense yani. Mi kitu tunaweza sema, we need to stop this before it's too late. We need to stop it before it's too late. Right now, look at me. I'm trying to fundraise 25 Gs, not because I don't have qualifications. I don't have a job. I've been jobless for 2 years. Not because I want to, but because my second name is not friendly. You get? My second name is not friendly. So, wacha tu tutakuambia. Tutakuitia kazi. Yes? Ukienda kuapply kazi sahi, ni ma regret. Kwanza kampuni za Kenya wako na tabia mbaya. They don't regret. Wana blue tick tu, wewe unajua hiyo ilienda. They don't even tell you, unfortunately, at least companies za majuu wanakuandikia kwambia hii CV ulitutumia haiwezi. These ones, hey, very arrogant pieces of people, bana. Kama uko HR, please write those letters. George is here with us. I see Ronyo. I see Japonji. I'm gonna go to George, Ronyo, and Japonji. Listen to them, of course. At least huku kwa space mnaweza kuja mtoe machungu. Remember, guys, I'm trying to fundraise studio areas bana. Zimeanza kunisa kama nitafungiwa studio. And I'm trying to raise about 25k. So any amount, 100 bob, 50 bob, we can to level. We are currently at 3,250. It's looking far and distant, but I believe we can do something. So thank you so much for your support, though. George.
Nani picha before
Yes.
George aende. I just want to wakasirisha Saidi. I've seen somewhere some guy ameniambia SHA is not supporting comprehensive care for police and teachers. So that thing, teachers and police, you used to let me not say brag around and tell us how the government is good. Right now, that thing has been crapped off in private hospitals. We together we will go to public hospitals and tupange hiyo laini na tujue venye tutasurvive.
Comprehensive nasikia imetolewa, wanataka kuileta ikuwe under SHA. Me guys, you guys are so interesting. I love you so much. Thank you so much for this, for electing this very beautiful regime. Haki ya Mungu, hivi mtu akiamka 2027 aende kupigia huyu jamaa kura na kulaani mapema. George.
Hi PP, how are you?
Hi, I am well, my bro. How about you?
Mi niko poa. Leo si umeponea hiyo chupuchupu.
Aje.
Niliraukia space nikupea whips bana, internet ikafanya ile kitu. I have not seen since Friday. Eh?
Mambo imechemuka brother hivyo.
Sija heal tangu Friday, but anyway, hiyo tuachane nayo. Let me go to our topic today, whereby we are talking about SHA is a scam. And I think by now everybody knows that this thing is not it's not working. Like we don't even need to talk about it anymore, you know. And even the rates in which the rates they're collecting right now vis-a-vis the service delivery, it's not even matching, you know. Right now I hear they want to force even hustlers to be paying 300 shillings, and you're jobless. You wonder even where people are going to get this money. And now, sometimes we blame the leaders a lot, PP. Like sometimes we even need to talk to ourselves now. Unaona? Hey, and even now get where the problem is. And today I've just been reflecting. Like as Kenyans, do we really know our problems? Do we really know our problems? Because I usually believe that the political class really know our problems. We don't know our problems. And the fact that they know we don't know our problems, sometimes they create problems for us so that we can fit in that box. Why am I saying this? People clearly know our problems. And the other day they went on a dialogue. They came up with an article report saying that they know what Kenyans wanted. Did they really know what Kenyans wanted, or they just created other problems that they thought that Kenyans wanted? Ama they thought that Kenyans had, capitalized on that, came up with something that will benefit them. Unaona? Let me now just narrow it down. The other day, our president is in a church. What did you present to him as a problem that you have? Ama what challenges did you present to him when you had the chance? The church said that they want to build another church worth 1.2 billion. In Kenya, do we really need a church that's worth 1.2 billion? What happened to the days where churches were building schools? What happened to the days where churches were building hospitals? Churches were building the society. I mean, we have a lot of schools that have been opened by the Catholic churches, AIC, SEK, a lot of them. Teachers training colleges, we have them, people like Kamusinga and stuff. Not Kamusinga, Kaimosi, you know. The churches used to do a lot back in the days. That's when maybe I can say maybe we understood our problems back then. Because the churches realized, oh, these people, They want education, we can build that. Oh, these people, they don't have medical facilities, we can build that. When people really understood their problems. But right now, we are very poor, we don't have even infrastructures. But then when you go to church, we are told that we need a church. We're in a church. Because even when the president was sitting there, that was just a proper church. It's a good church. Hmm? What's the need of another one? Yeah, 1.2 billion that you even have to take 20 acres of military land and give them. Do we really, really need that? It begs the question sometimes, do we really know our problems? We're just barely just surviving, you know? Why were we doing that? Aya, we are clapping for the president giving us 20 million to build a church. Yet some of our kids are not even going to school. Hmm? Look at our pay slips nowadays. You have how much is going to SHA, how much is going to nini inaitwaje? Easy housing projects. We don't complain about that. What if that money went to do some serious work? What if it paid school fees? Some might even went and built something for kids in a school. Hmm? When they come in such places where we clap for them giving 120 million to build a church, yet we have a church, they look at us and call us stupid because we really, really don't know what we want. Because if we knew what we wanted, we could have prioritized them. The other day we had a problem with US cutting the US aid, and I told people in Kenya we don't have a money problem. Why don't we have a money problem? The other day we allocated a lot of money to the office of the president and the deputy president, 5 billion. And sasa tunaambiwa 1.3 trillion has been lost. I mean, that is money that can support HIV in Kenya if that was the problem. That is money that can support healthcare in Kenya if that was the problem. That is money that can support easy, like we can manufacture our own even condoms in this country. Like we've been depending on free condoms, which are brought by other countries in Kenya. Do we really know, Ama, do we really know where our problems lie? Unaona? You listen to an average Kenyan speaking and you wonder, is this person going to be helped? You know, what happened to the Harambee spirit back in the days where we could come back together for a collective to work towards something that's going to benefit the society? Hmm? Look at the government spending vis-a-vis the crumbling infrastructure. You wonder, our presidents nowadays sahi wanakuwa na private what inaitwaje, runways in their properties. You know, Uhuru have one, Ruto already has built one. Nasikia kuna rumors he's trying to build another one. Compared to our roads, and there's nothing we are doing about it. Yes, we know, yes, we are making it aware in the public, but what are we really doing about it? Hmm? Will you go back to elect the same people? Ama when these people wanatolewa tena tumerudi kwa our tribal cocoon, so mtu wetu ametolewa. Do we really know our problems? I think sometimes pia tukianza kujiuliza hivyo tukisonga, inafaa tu iring a bell, unaona, kwa kichwa zetu. Hmm? Sometimes nilikuwa najiuliza juzi, even these employees of ours, not even the employees, organizations in the country, have they tried to come together na wakate hii issue? Kina Tuoli wenye wamesimamia board za employees, what is he doing? Hmm? Tusiende huko pipi. The other day pia hapa kwa Twitter. Now this is just us now. Tujicall out. We had people here who are influencers. They came out telling us how SHA was good or SHIF was good. Just because they were paid. Alafu pesa yako ikichelewa wanarudi kutuambia ati it was just tulikuwa tumekuwa forced kufanya hivi tu ati ilikuwa ni kazi. In a system where things are not working. Instead of being a change, you find yourself being people who are propelling this rot. And you're someone who is learned, probably, and everything. Like you're learned enough to know this is bad and this is good. Why are you taking part in that? You know, that money that will be given, will it feed your hunger for the next coming 30 years? It won't. And that's why we come back to the question. Do we really know where our problem lie? Sometimes pipi nasikianga ukisema ati oh, you took a bold move sometimes back, you did not accept money. That is something that's good, and I really applaud you for that. And I believe that even your conscience in the next coming years will be good, will just be clear, like you won't have anything to regret because you did not take part in impunity. You know what the problem is. Now the question yenye naulizanga ni, perhaps there are people who know what the problem is. But what's the population difference between the people who know what the problem is and those who don't know what the problem really is? Because I usually say, if you take part in the road, like you're still the problem you yourself. You shouldn't even be mentioning that corruption is existing in the country and everything. We know that some of our hospitals have been stealing money from the coffers, the NHIF. That is something that was like almost public knowledge to some people. Now, sometimes I sit down and ask myself, the people who take part in this, the staff in the hospital who know these things, and the part of the road, the part of the people who are elevating these problems. Like, do they know what our problem is? The problem is just a problem until it affects you. Yeah, maybe kama bado hiyo cancer hajakushika wewe unaona tu it's just a joke until ikufikie. And that's why unapata Kenyans tuko na hii culture whereby unapata when you have a problem we don't really call it out. Siku uko na mgonjwa alafu imefika 2 million and there's nothing that can happen, umekuja mchango huku Twitter. Somewhere in Turkana, people are dying of hunger, we want to fundraise. In fact, even our leaders help us in fundraising. Tomorrow tunawaona wakiflash their money in hapa social media, mtu amenunua gari sijui how much. Tomorrow they want us to fundraise to help our fellow Kenyans who are paying taxes like we are doing, who also deserve development as we do deserve them. You wonder, wakati wa election tunafikisha huko Makems kids, but wakati wanahitaji food like it's a long process, we have to budget for it. Sijui disaster management committees. Do we really know our problems like as citizens? And how can we work like from our level, CC, how can we work to make these things better? Because I assume PP, imagine if that church said that we are going to sit down, we want to bring up a facility, a hospital that's worth 1.2 billion. And many other churches do that to the point that these facilities supported by the church are giving better service that they automatically kill what the government is giving us, to the point that the government will now have to do better, because sometimes they say when a problem is there and there's no alternative, the best alternative is coming up with something that's good, that it automatically dies a natural death, unaona. So imagine if we had facilities on our own as churches, that we can sit down and make sure that we have like maybe schools, make sure we have facilities that are way better to serve our people, to the point that the government has to upgrade on how they do their services, because maybe then ikifika hapo we will start saying, we have the option of seeking for healthcare here, so you don't have to tax me this and this amount of money. And that's why I usually say maybe as citizens we don't have the leverage. And now what's that leverage? The leverage is really knowing what we want. And how can we make our problems seen both to us and seen both to our leaders? Because it can't be seen one way. We can't let them just see it for us. Because if they see it for us, they will dictate the terms. And when they dictate the terms, that's why they'll come up here na vitu za, you've seen your problem is a housing problem. So what we're going to do, we're going to tax this amount of money from your salary each and every month. And if you tax this amount from your salary each and every month, we're going to take land from government. We're going to take some of the government land, which is public land. We're going to build it tax-free ama at a reduced rate, unaona? And we're going to sell it back to you. And who's going to make this profit? Private individuals, because the private companies that are building these houses. So how should we look at it? Both ways. Hata sisi to realize that, we also don't have houses. Then what are we going to do? Unaona? how are we going to also address this problem?